Hey you guys, LH signing in, bringing you what is 100% authentic, can never be compromised or manufactured. So yeah, I guess this is another part 2 because of Get to Know Me, because I just had to do this video real fast. I want to talk about some things that I experienced living in California that's kind of disturbing all my life, but in no way does it shape my overall outlook. Thank God these things didn't harm me. They didn't affect me in that way, to the point where it's traumatized me. But it just gives you something to think about. I know with all the conversations about Shane Dawson and saying a lot of pedophilic languaging and stuff like that, and even I guess who else is in the stories as far as pedophiles? There's so many. I can't keep up. I know Epstein and all these people, molesters and killers and rapists and stuff like that. But one thing that I noticed when I was growing up in California, and then if you want to be specific, in my town and in San Francisco, and I never mentioned this, and I had this conversation with somebody, and I forgot to mention, because we were talking about people that, that are from each state that we've lived in. I know I was having this conversation with these ladies. Side note, I didn't know John Bonet at one time lived in Georgia. But anyways, I remember when, I think her name is JC Dugard, the girl that was locked up in a backyard of this old couple, white couple. And the husband wound up having kids with the little girl. She was a little girl when she was kidnapped in the 90s, walking from school. And this was in Antioch/Brentwood, I think. It was in Antioch. This is in a town that I lived in. And she wasn't that far from where I lived, which was crazy. My town, if you look up Antioch, and there's this thing, there's on Urban Dictionary and even Wikipedia, that it's reported that there's a lot of pedophiles in that town that I lived in Antioch, California. Registered pedophiles, molesters, child molesters, the whole nine. And that city, I didn't realize that until I got older, that city was known for a lot of abductions and pedophiles and predators. And it made me think about, even witnessing, some transgressions to me, even as a teenager. My first recollection, thank God, I used to be one of those children that would just run around. I used to, if I saw something that interests me, I would walk and go to it. I was at Universal Studios. And this is a good case of good Samaritans. They dropped me off so that my parents, at the Lost and Found or whatever operating office, so that my parents would, come to the office and be notified that I was found. Nothing happened to me. I was fine. I've had instances where I've been lost before. I was lost in Jamaica. I could have talked about that, and I Get to Know Me. I was lost in Jamaica. I was lost in Disneyland. I was lost in Universal Studios. You know what I'm saying? There's been a lot of places I've been lost. And thank God nothing has happened to me. But I remember when I was with my Nana, another term for grandmother, my mom's mom, my Nana. There's only one that I call Nana. We were walking at a mall, and I think I was around 12 or 13 or 11 or something, or 10. I was very, very young. And I remember that there was this man. And I had wore chains. They had your boy blinged out at a young age. I had bling and stuff like that. I probably just had one chain or bracelet here, or ring, like I always do. I always had my own little touch. Personality. I love jewelry. I love individuality, styling, and putting stuff together, showing my own individuality. So I always had some type of, something to make me fly or whatever. But this man was hounding me about selling me some silver chains, and at that time, I guess I liked silver chains, but I didn't like silver as much as I like gold, and that's even now. Like I really advise people, if they're gonna buy me a gift, don't buy me silver, because I really won't appreciate it. I'm a gold person, 18K or up, okay. But anyways, yeah, he was just hounding me about some silver chains, and he was very aggressive, and he was smiling. It was almost as if like he was hounding me and grooming me in front of my nana. My nana was like, "Go away, we're done. We're good. We don't know." She was just like, "This pervert is just bothering you," you know. It was just, but he came off nice, but he was a little bit like too houndish, like not trying to necessarily sell the chains, but really get my attention. It was too much. It was too much. That was my first experience, and some of y'all may say, like, how is that? Maybe he's just nice. How is he a pedophile or something like that, or how is he grooming you? But you can tell the difference. You can feel that energy. I felt very uncomfortable. I never felt uncomfortable like this than when I feel this man. I can even feel it in my spirit talking about it. I haven't felt this way ever, except for that man. Then as I got older, you know, especially parks, like stuff like places like this is fine, like, but like parks, like you can't just go to a park, because I guess I found out at a young age that parks were another place, a cruising place for sex, and I never knew that. Especially I guess in the gay community, a lot of gays go to the parks to cruise for men to have sex with. I guess, I don't know. And by any chance, I'm not trying to make a stereotype, but you can look that up. I looked that up actually to see if that was a thing, and it is a thing. Some people have destination spots where they hook up and stuff like that. I don't know if it's changed. It's so much easier now. You could just get an app and I guess just meet somewhere. I don't know. But yeah, I remember being at a park by myself because my mom had to go somewhere and she was coming back to get me. But I was young enough I was young and old enough to handle myself. I was like 16, 17. But I remember I was walking around this lake, a lake kind of like this. And I just noticed this man was following me. But you know how somebody's walking and then you turn around, he's like they're being slick or something. I'm like, you're not being slick. I could tell you're following me. And then when I get to the bench, he's like, oh, do you want to go in the bushes? What the fuck? No, I don't want to go in for what? No, I'm good. But I said in the most politest way, I didn't, at that time, I wasn't really, I'm not offended like that. But at the same time, it's a little creepy for me at that time I've been approached or by men who found me attractive, but something like that, it was very interesting. That happened to me at that part. And then another part that happened to me, this man was like, you want to see my stuff? I was like, nah, I'm good. Like, that's the type of transgressions that I've had at parks and stuff like that, or just minding my own business, walking. And men, and then it's not just men, women too. I've had an older woman at an apartment complex I used to stay back at home when I was in the apartment a long time ago, after my parents broke out and we left the family house. And I remember an older woman in the hot tub wanted me to go in the hot tub with her, and it was interesting. And she was like, oh, you cute. You could tell she was hollering, and she wanted my number, and yeah, so that never happened. But I've been groomed by women too, but I've dated older women, and I recently dated a older man. But that's different, dating that in your 20s versus in your teens. And I'm not gonna lie, I did date older people, like in their 30s, when I shouldn't have, in my teenage years. So yeah, it's not as good, but the difference was I was of age and I was mature minded, but same, a little bit naive. You don't get wisdom until you get a little bit older, and I'm mature, but I'm still a little naive in a sense, I guess. But Yeah, I remember situations where I could be walking to work. I remember I was so close to my job though. It didn't cause me to have to get in my car to drive to the job. I could just walk a couple of blocks and I was there. But I remember walking past the Home Depot, and this man, a Hispanic man, not to say that like a lot, but it was a Hispanic man. The last couple of men, one was Indian, one was white, black, of course, and the Hispanic. But I remember this Hispanic man saw me walking at a Home Depot, a parking lot, and he saw me and got in his car and literally on the road, like on the sidewalk from the street, was like, hey, get in my car, I'll give you a ride. No, I'm good, I'm getting a ride. To the point where he pull over, he'd be like, hey, I'll give you a ride. I'm like, no, I'm good. And I remember this fool found me at the same park, not the same park as the guy by the pond, but the park that used to be at my house. He's found me at the same park as the guy that wanted to show his thing to me. It was crazy when I was a teenager. But he wanted to show his thing to me. But this guy found me at the park and was like, hey, I'm interested in you. Da, da, da. He couldn't really speak that good of English. And I said, no, I'm good. I lie. I said, whatever I can do. I'm violent now. Like, I was violent then, but I didn't see the cause to do that. If you won't leave me alone, then we might have to fight. But I know back then, I was just like, you know what? I'm married. I'm sorry. I'm good. I have somebody. And I remember this fool said, I don't care. What? So I'm married and you don't care? And I said, I'm married and I'm not interested and you don't care? Very interesting. Very interesting. And I was just like, yo, like, I am taken, I am good, I'm not interested. And look, that was probably a year later after that man figured out I didn't want to be bothered with him, get in his car for him to give me a ride home. And like that lasted for like that was like I said, that was a year ago. And then he found me at this park and wanted to pursue me still after a year. So that was like 2 years. So I just know like what I've gone through like that, it happened a lot in California. And then you have some people that try to pursue you here in Georgia, and I've had some weird stories, like men, like when I'm in my uniform working downtown in the security police department for Georgia State, and there's a man that's like this, like, do you wanna? I'm like, no, like that. I swear I'm not making this up, you guys. Like, I've had weird just shit like that from like these pervert men, like like it's I swear I could write a book about this. I've been pursued since I was probably 9 years old. Like, and it's sick to think like people could be attracted to a child from that young to, but it's like, it happens. But no one else that I've talked to, like, that I know of, has gone through something like that. And it's very weird. In no way I'm saying I'm the most attractive child. I was the most attractive. I thought I looked pretty average as a child. Like, I was, of course I was cute. I'm always gonna think I'm cute, but like, I don't get it. I was pursued like a mug when I was young, and even today, like, if you want to think about it, a lot of people too, a lot of people pursue me when it comes to dating as well. Like, a lot of my people I date happen to be cute, and I don't even have to go out my way to make a first move, and they're pursuing me, like I said. But yeah, I just want to show you, just watch your kids, protect them. They're very precious. I've always been fortunate to be protected my whole life by the Most High God. And I never got myself into compromisable situations like that. When I did make the mistake of getting in the car, but this person, I just felt their spirit, but that'll never happen again. But I was very fortunate. Let's just say that I was very fortunate. And just really watch your kids, teach your kids to just don't accept anything from strangers. Watch them, because there's always somebody praying over your kids. So that's just my experience, you guys. I just wanted to talk about that real fast. And I hope you guys are being safe as it gets dark. It turns from night to evening. So I'll see you guys. Look at this beautiful sunset. I hope you guys have a great, blessed weekend, and I'll see you guys in the next video. And yeah, let me know if you guys have had crazy experiences. Blow up my comments. Like, I want to hear from you guys. Also, I want somebody to tell me how to look up subscribers, because I want to give out my subscriber shout outs. And yeah, I want to shout you guys out, my new subscribers. And shout out to my new subscribers, whoever you are. But I'm going to get your names, and I'm going to shout you out personally, because I want to start doing that. So, you guys, thank you for going along this journey with me in memory lane. And peace and love. Stay true to thyself, you guys. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Bye.